Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another edition of Godzilla Month, and today we'll be taking a look at the NECA Shin Godzilla. Now, this version of Godzilla comes from the 2016 film Shin Godzilla. I actually got to see this movie in the theaters, and I really like this movie. Granted, it's not my favorite Godzilla movie of all time, but Shin Godzilla still is a very good movie, and if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. But anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get into this review. Starting off with the paint. The paint on this figure is really good. There are some spots where it looks a little but the rest of the paint on this figure is very nice. So let's take a closer look. Most of the body is a charcoal black with bits of red and the creases and all of the folds and all of the, gaps between the body, which is accurate to the movie and it looks very nice. The back is painted red with bits of orange in the center, which I don't know if you could see that on camera, but that looks alright. The tip of the tail looks very meh. I don't know why, but for some reason there's like orange bits of bone right here. Again, I don't get why, but okay. The toe claws are painted this like tannish, whitish color with bits of black, which looks nice, as well as the finger claws. Looking at the head, the eyes, you probably can't notice because the eyes are very small, but I'm looking at them right now and they seem to be symmetrical, so that's good. The teeth are the same color as the toe claws and finger claws, or the finger claws and toe claws. God, I'm an idiot. And if you open up the mouth, all of the gums and whatnot are painted this reddish pinkish color, which looks nice. And that is basically it for the paint on this figure. At some points it does look a little not all that great, but the rest of the paint on this figure is very nice, so the paint definitely gets a pass. Now I'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is pretty good for a bulky figure as this. It still looks very good. So basically the head, there's a ball joint at the base of the neck. The mouth can open. There is a ball joint at the base of the arms. Bend at the elbow, and you can swivel. A ball joint at the hands. Ball joint at the hips. The knees can't really bend much backwards, but they can bend a lot forwards, I guess. I don't know why, but okay. Going to the tail, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, and the ball joint. There should be a bendy wire, because if you look at the bottom, there are holes where they would stick in the wires, but yeah, there are none on this figure, which I don't get, but okay. Also, there is a ball joint at the waist here, so yeah. Anyway, that is basically it for the articulation on this figure. For a bulky figure, it's not bad. It could be better, but it's not bad, so the articulation gets a pass. Now I'll take a look at the sculpt on this figure, and the sculpt on this figure is it's not bad, but it's definitely, it's not perfect, so we'll take a closer look. Looking at the tip of the tail here, starting off here, there actually is supposed to be a little face right there. And in case you don't know, it's kind of a spoiler alert, but the tip of the tail is actually its own separate organism. So, yeah. On the tail here, I don't get, why it's sculpted like this. I would have liked it if the tail was just straight, but instead it just looks like this, and yeah, that, again, I don't get why it's like that, but okay. It's accurate to the movie, but again, I would have liked it if it was just straight, but anyway, the sculpt on the hands, I feel like are a little bit too big. And my main problem kind of shows up in the head sculpt, which doesn't look too bad. It looks stupid when it looks like that, but when it's looking down, it looks pretty accurate to the movie. But when you open the mouth, for some reason he has these membranes, which he never had in the movie, but yeah, he has here, I guess. I guess another complaint I have with the sculpt on this figure is that it's too bulky, and in the movie, Shin Godzilla, he wasn't this bulky at all, so yeah. Other than that, the sculpt on this figure is alright, so the sculpt gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and at some parts, in terms of detailing, this figure looks okay, but then there are other points on this figure that look very, very good. So we'll take a close look at that. Starting off with the head. The head looks okay, nothing too crazy. All the bumps look nice. And the detailing on the inside of the mouth looks... It looks alright. Going down to the neck, this is where the detailing starts to get better. But we have more little wrinkles in the skin, which look really nice. And also this part right here, I don't know like if these would be gills or not, but that looks alright. Going down to the body, we have more creases and like wrinkles in the skin, which look very nice, and all of the like messed up looking muscles look very nice. Going to the chest, that looks very nice as well, with the skin tearing and all that. Shin Godzilla, like the design of Shin Godzilla, looks a lot like a zombie, and I think they did a good job trying to replicate that. But anyway, going to the hips here, the detailing here looks very nice. And going down, we have more folds in the skin, which are detailed very nicely. And the feet are actually detailed very nicely as well, and I actually really do like how the feet look. Going to the tail, we have more creases and whatnot, which look very nice on this figure. And the detailing on the tip of the tail looks... It doesn't look horrible, but it could be a lot better. The detailing on the dorsal plates look very nice, and I'd say that looks almost accurate to the movie, so yeah, that looks very nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. At some points, it does look a little sloppy. If I'm going to be honest, it does look a little sloppy, but the rest of the detailing on this figure is very nice. And at the end of the day, should you get this figure, this is the only, well, by the time I upload this, this figure's going to already be out. But they are, what am I trying to say? They are releasing a different version of this figure where it's going to be purple, and he's going to come with his beam effects, like, you know, how he did in the movie. Which, if you don't have this figure, and that figure just so happens to be out, because I'm recording this in August, so yeah, if that if that figure gets released, you know, before I... What am I trying to say here? If that figure gets released before I upload this video, and you don't have this, then go for that. But if you already have this figure, and that figure just so happens to be out, then I'd say skip out on it. There are better Shin Godzilla figures out there, period. But in terms of paint, I think this is the best you're going to get. In terms of sculpting, I think that this is definitely one of the weakest. If you want a good sculpted Shin Godzilla figure, then get the SH Monster Arts figure, but the paint on that figure is really bad, and if you want a Shin Godzilla figure with good paint, then get this figure. This figure costs about $25, which isn't bad for what you're paying. This and the possible other Shin Godzilla figure that might be released by the time I upload this does, you know, those are the only two American released Shin Godzilla figures, but yeah. Every other Shin Godzilla figure are in Japan, so yeah. Anyway, if you want to know how big Godzilla is, here he is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zek out.